Are artificial sweeteners the best weight loss tool of all time? If you use artificial sweeteners to avoid gaining weight, you're not only wasting your time, but also possibly, actually let's make that probably, causing future health problems, according to a bunch of recent studies. As always, I recommend doing a Pubmed research to get the details, but it might make you a little depressed, or possibly even quite a bit mad. So a few of these studies have found that not only do aspartame and sucralose not prevent weight gain, they also raise the risk of diseases in people who use them regularly. Some research even shows long-term use of artificial sweeteners leads to weight gain, which, when you think about it, is actually brilliant marketing. Let's make a product that says it's supposed to help with something and actually make it do the opposite of what it's supposed to do. It becomes a vicious cycle. It's a little bit like Batman holding you up for all your money, stealing everything. It's false advertising. Actually, now when I think about it, I'm surprised there's not actually lawsuits against these companies. So recent research shows about a quarter of the children and more than 40% of adults in the United States consume artificial sweeteners daily. This is a super sad statistic, but also interesting when it's estimated that over 20% of children are now obese, and almost exactly 40% of adults are obese. So that kind of begs the question, are they obese because of the products, or do they consume these products because they're obese? My answer is yes. So some people eat them purposefully in the mistaken belief that it's better for their health. Many others, however, are unwittingly consuming them every day in food products, and many times they're cleverly disguised, so they don't even know they're eating them. Artificial sweeteners are hiding in many foods, unbeknownst to most people. These products are not always clearly labeled, and some are even labeled with misleading claims, such as natural ingredients. Clever little boogers. So these sweeteners are everywhere. While we expect to find artificial sweeteners in foods labeled light, reduced sugars, diet, and sugar-free, they also show up in smart popcorn, granola bars, yogurt, and even a popular pediatric electrolyte drink that rhymes with poopy flight. So artificial sweeteners have been linked to obesity and disease. Studies also suggest long-term use of artificial sweeteners lead to weight gain and chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. So participants in a randomized trial who used artificial sweeteners as part of their weight loss program were shown to have an increase in their body mass index, a 14% higher chance of developing type 2 diabetes, and a 32% chance of higher chance of developing heart disease. Sounds like a winner to me. Now let's back up. The lobbyists for the artificial sweetener industry and researchers agree variables need to be considered and more research needs to be done. Yeah, well, of course they do. They're never going to say it's bad for you, but I will. So why do artificial sweeteners cause weight gain? Well, one reason is believed these fake sweeteners lead to weight gain and obesity-related health risks is because they trigger sugar cravings that a person eventually gives into and actually causes them to eat more food that you shouldn't be eating. Another theory suggests that consuming foods with artificial sweeteners leads a person to feel virtuous or feel good about themselves, and thus justified in overindulging later. They think that because they eat this light, this, or that sugar-free, that now that they can splurge since they ate so healthy before. Animal studies show artificial sweeteners trick the brain into thinking you've eaten sugar, which can trigger an inflammatory cascade and other diseases. Artificial sweeteners also alter the gut microbiome in a way that promotes obesity, diabetes, inflammation, and more weight gain. And we all know the gut is the keystone to good health, right? Or at least now you do. So what's the functional medicine approach to sweeteners? So what's a guy or gal to do? I'm so glad that you asked. Number one, just don't use them. If you're going to go after something sweet, my motto is just like the Nike motto. Just do it. Get the real stuff. Keep it limited and under control, but use sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup, raw sugar, organic raw honey, or agave. I've included a link to some of the most common ones I use and recommend, and this is not a recommendation to use these every day. As a little side note on sweeteners, I'm personally not a huge fan of stevia either. Now, I'm not necessarily against it right now, but I just haven't seen enough evidence or studies on it. Not to mention it is a biofilm disruptor, which you can catch in my GI talk or health series, that can be used in the treatment of gut issues and even in Lyme disease. So in functional medicine, we see time and time again that many people naturally lose their cravings for sugar and starchy foods when they eat whole foods diet that stabilizes blood sugar, lowers inflammation, and promotes brain health. When your body is functioning better, functional medicine, you won't feel drawn to the regular use of artificial sweeteners when you have no craving for sweets in the first place. So ask my office how we can help you. I'm Dr. Craig Mortensen. Be healthy, be happy,